Who will be both?
Subban will be in that again today.
First place team, do you expect him to bring that homeness for everybody going into this game?
Yeah, he's just Malcolm's in a good place right now. His game's in a good place. I think he's in a good place, and so what he's done a great job of is he's given us a chance to win. Some nights he's been spectacular. Other nights he's just needed to be solid. But I think that's what you want from your goaltender, whether you're playing really good as a team or you're having an off night like we did on Wednesday, is your goalie gives you a chance to win. And then fortunately, we've been finding ways to win with him in the net. I will. Yeah, we're going to keep Weisbach, Rosien, and Kulik together. I don't think they were excellent in that game, but they still scored the game-winning goal as a line and did some good things offensively. I thought their offensive game they did some good things. They weren't quite as competitive on the puck as they need to be to get the puck more, so then their offensive talents can shine. But they weren't alone in that either. So, well, they're fast. As a line, it's a very fast line. They all have very good speed, if not elite speed. They're creative. They move the puck well. They all also can score. They're all players that are capable of being goal scorers. So they're a dangerous line. They just sometimes, especially when you're that young, you just got to remember how hard you got to compete every night to get the puck, because it doesn't matter how talented you are if you don't have the puck.
We talked about Weisbach driving this line the other day. Did you see any flashes of that on Wednesday?
There's some, for sure. And it's a learning process for him, right? He's now being looked at as a leader. So he's only in his second year. He hasn't been in those positions much in his career. So how do you drive a line? And those are things we talked about. It's not just about being a big brother and talking to them on the bench and those things. That part of it, that's a small piece of it though. The best way to drive a line is through your own play. It's how competitive you are, how much you want the puck, how physically engaged you are to track down your opponents and make the game uncomfortable for your opponent. So those are the things we need to see from Linus. Rosien and Kulik are very good players. They're also really good kids and good teammates. They'll come with him. They'll come with him if he plays with that level of competitiveness. I just think he's ready for the challenge. His game has grown so much. Linus was a player in college that scored a lot, but probably cheated a lot and just thought offense. And I thought his game grew a lot last year, and there was a stretch when our lineup was really bad that him, Ruotsalainen, and Murray were like really driving and keeping us in the playoff picture because we didn't have much else. And then he's come back this year and he's made another big step. More consistent, better work ethic, better habits. So he's earned this opportunity. And now, like I've said before, when you challenge your players and you put them in new roles, uncomfortable roles, they're going to get better failing or succeeding at it, as long as they look at it the right way. Because failure and adversity makes you grow, and success helps you build confidence as well.
Ciccone and Davies together.
They've been, Ciccone and Davies have been a really good pair for each other. They mesh well. They talk a lot on the bench and practice. I think Davies is a really aggressive attacking player, attacking defensively and offensively. Defensively with how he gaps and how aggressive he tries to shut plays down. Offensively, he loves to jump in the rush, and we encourage that. And I think Ciccone is a kind of a steadying presence for Davies. He's comfortable defending, and he's comfortable letting Davies do some of those things, and then he's consistently back where he needs to be. I think Ciccone's done a really good job adjusting to the style differences that we want to play that maybe he wasn't accustomed to playing, how aggressive we want to defend, how we want to play in our D zone. Those two have been really, really strong together.
And he
Yeah, he was pretty seamless transition. I think a couple things help with that. One is he's Buffalo native, so this is a dream come true to be part of this. Sometimes you get traded as just a transition because it's kind of shocking, right? And the team that drafted you, it's first time and all those things. Well, getting to be part of the Buffalo Sabres was his dream since he was a child, right? So that helps. He had a lot of familiarity with some guys on our team. Obviously, he's great friends, not just casual buddies. Like him and Brendan Warren are very, very close friends. They played 4 years together at Michigan. I think that transition helped. And he and I had a previous relationship as well. I mean, I tried to recruit him, 8 years ago, whatever it was. And he laughed about the fact that when I called him the first time to welcome him to our organization, my name still came up, Seth Appert, RPI, in his phone, right? So I think those things all go into it, and then the credit to him and how much he's bought in, how hard he's worked.
So Toronto's game getting postponed in the middle of it last night. However, still more games than the games have played this week. What do you need to take advantage of?
Yeah, you need to make the game hard on your opponent, especially when they get in. I mean, yeah, the game was postponed last night, but they still played a period of it. They still got in late in the evening. You want to make the game hard on your opponent if they're a little tired. How do you make it hard on an opponent? You manage the puck. You don't give them line rushes. You don't give them power plays. Line rushes and power play are easy for the most part. I mean, I'm not taking away from the fact that you still have to have a lot of skill to execute in those areas, but it's easier offense. So you want to make it hard on them. You want to be physical on them. You want to put pucks below the goal line. You want to make this game demanding for them and not give them free offense.